If you think you need a beautiful, perfectly matching set of fancy art supplies to make something interesting, this video is for you. Because this bag is filled with the most random supplies. I have old highlighters in it, some loose ballpoint, random markers, a lot of different sizes of colored pencils. Honestly, it's a big mix of everything. Some of these art supplies are sitting in this bag for years. And instead of buying something new, I challenged myself today to use my forgotten supplies to create 4 finished drawings. So I decided to keep everything in a underwater theme, using different sea animals throughout the drawings. And one of these supplies gave up on me halfway through, but somehow the drawing became one of my favorites. This first drawing I used 2 highlighters to start with. One fluorescent yellow and the other one is a fluorescent orange color. I really wanted to pick the very bright ones because it would make the drawing feel more alive already. And to play more into it, I thought about drawing a squid. I always start with creating a first layer, so I think for your base layer you should always use the lighter color. It just makes sense before adding those extra details. Once I established the overall shape of the squid, was a small problem. The yellow was almost completely empty. It has been sitting in that bag for years, but luckily there was also another highlighter in the bag. Once this yellow base was finished, I went in with orange to add more definition and bring the squid to life. And instead of filling every area completely, I added smaller details, dots, or outlines. Honestly, the orange helped separate the part of the squid and create more contrast against the yellow fluorescent color. Because both colors were so bright, I wasn't trying to make the drawing look completely realistic here. I just leaned into the fact that highlighters can create this bold and graphic look. And I actually love how playful this drawing turned out. So this is a final result. I didn't expect the highlighters to even work so well. I think they were also the least traditional art supply I would say that is in the bag. The second drawing, I used a blue ballpoint pen and also a red ballpoint pen. And with these, I decided to draw a seahorse. I started by hatching the first layer in blue, and instead of coloring everything in, I used a hatch technique, kind of like cross hatching. I just did one layer in one direction, but I followed a bit the shape of the seahorse. So I basically built up the shape using different lines in different directions and just let them cross over each other. And normally when you hatch, you place some lines closer to each other and then it will be darker, and the more space you leave between the lines, the brighter your drawing will look and more white spaces will appear. For this one, I went with a bit of a loose vibe, so it's not perfect, but that's totally the point. Also, it's really interesting to draw with because you cannot erase anything, so you just have to accept what is on your paper. Once a line is there, it will stay. I know that can sometimes feel a bit intimidating, but it can also make you feel more energetic with your drawing. You don't have to hide any lines or make an area perfectly smooth. Honestly, some marks or wrong lines can become part of your artwork. After creating that blue base, I went in with my red ballpoint. I didn't want the red to completely cover up the blue, so I mainly used it to add in some accents. I lightly went over the whole drawing, but it was just very subtle. So the red did help me to create a bit more contrast in the drawing, and it also made the seahorse stand out a little bit more. Where the blue and the red lines overlap, it can even start looking purple from a distance. Honestly, I was only using 2 ordinary pens, but the drawing did create more depth than I expected. So this is how my seahorse turned out. Honestly, it feels a bit more detailed. I think it also has more texture than the previous one with the highlight. I also really like the drawing has this type of movement because of the cross hatching. And this drawing is of course also a really good reminder. The material doesn't need to come from a fancy art store to become an art supply. Honestly, these pens are basically for writing, but they still can create an entire illustration. And if you enjoyed this video so far, make sure you like this video and also subscribe to get back into drawing. Let's continue. For this next drawing, I found 2 tin markers, a yellow one and also a red one. Combination combination definitely gave me slightly more control than the one with the highlighter, but I still didn't want to use them like normal color markers. So for this drawing, I drew a lobster. First, I went in with the yellow marker and created the first layer using a kind of thin, loose hatching technique. So instead of coloring it in like a solid color, I built them up with separated lines. I also wanted a bit to give a certain direction with my lines so that drawing would have a bit of form as well, like following a bit the form of the lobster. And because yellow was a lighter color, I used that as a base. Then following up, when my whole base was finished, I went in with a red marker to add in those darker details. I kind of used it to bring in more shadow to the drawing. I used it to strengthen out certain lines and make the most important part of the lobster stand out. Because the red was darker than the yellow, I also had to be a bit careful so that it wouldn't overpower. Honestly, it quite did overpower the drawing, but I like it, so it's fine. So I did try to be as intentional as possible. So yellow creates kind of the structure and red will add in the details, create that focus. And this is the final result. I like that it still kind of feels light and also kind of a sketchy vibe, even though that I used markers. Normally we think of markers as something that we need to fill something in, like large areas with solid colors, but by using a hatching technique, it created a completely different texture. It can behave more like drawing pens than traditional markers. And that's one of the things that I enjoyed the most about this challenge. That it wasn't only about using random supplies, it was also about finding slightly different ways to use them. Remember when I said that I used an art supply that I'm not the best at, but I still managed to make it work? Well, it's this final one. So for the final drawing, I used two colored pens, green one and also an orange one. The pencils were quite thick. I remember that I have been having them for a long time. It was quite difficult to create edgy lines with them and create small precise details because I also didn't have a sharpener that was big enough to sharpen the pencils, so I had to be really precise with them. And I also need to admit that drawing with pencils hasn't always been my strongest strength. Honestly, through the years I've definitely been improving, but there is still some work with that. So I first started with green and I used that to create the basic drawing. So here I drew an octopus, just like with the markers and also the pens. I tried using hatching rather than just pressing down my pencil and filling every area completely. But because these pencils were so thick, it was definitely more challenging to keep the lines controlled. I honestly really had to work with the shape of the pencil instead of expecting it to behave like a sharp colored pencil. So then I used the orange to create some more depth, adding some more shadows and also details. For example, the lines, like I drew the outline and also some dots on top as well, because I really wanted to create more depth to the drawing. And because orange and green are quite different, the orange immediately stood out against the green. I tried to place it in those areas where the drawing needed contrast, instead of covering all the green underneath. And even though I was slightly unsure of the combination at first, I'm actually really happy about the results. And it isn't the most polished colored pencil drawing at all, but that also wasn't the goal of this challenge. The goal was to see if I could draw with random art supplies. The goal was if I could draw with two random very thick pencils and still turn them into something complete. And I think I actually did it. So these are the 4 finished drawings. The Squidward created with fluorescent colors, the seahorse created with 2 ballpoint pens, the lobster created with thin markers, and then the final drawing of an octopus created with 2 pencils. Honestly, I only used sea animals in this theme. Actually, every version has a different feeling. The highlighters created something very bright, playful and also graphic. The ballpoint pen created more structure and detail through the cross-hatching. The thin markers created a bit more of a sketchier vibe, but with a big contrast. And the colored pencils created something softer, even though the pencils themselves were quite thick. And before I tell you which one was my favorite, let me know which one you would choose. The highlighters, the ballpoints, thin markers or the colored pencils. Like I kind of said, the highlighter one was kind of my favorite, but I also do like the one with the thin markers. I just feel like the highlighters were like kind of the least serious art supplies in this entire challenge, and I didn't expect them to like be my favorite one. So I don't think that this challenge proves that expensive or professional art supplies are useless. I own some really good quality materials. I enjoy using them, and they can definitely make certain techniques easier. But I do think that we use our art supplies as another reason to postpone creation. Tell ourselves that we need more colors, better set, a new sketchbook, or the right material for what we want to create. But the creativity doesn't begin when you finally own every possible supply. It begins with what you already have, and when you ask yourself, what can I make with this? The materials in this bag weren't like perfectly matte. One of the highlighters was completely empty. The colored pencils were too thick, and the ballpoints you couldn't really erase, as well as the markers. So they forced me to simplify the shapes, also experiment with hatching, creating contrast, and accept the mark that weren't completely perfect. The materials did change the style of the drawing, but it didn't decide whether I could make that art or not. I still had to choose where the lines went, I still had to decide which detail mattered, and I still had to find a way to make every random combination work. So the next time that you feel like you need a new set of fancy art supplies, before you can start, look inside your random bag, your drawers, or maybe some old boxes, and look at the materials that you already own. Choose 2 random colors, pick something very simple to draw, like choose a theme like I did, and see what those limitations can help you create. Because you probably don't need more art supplies, you might just need to look at the ones that you already have. And if you're kind of scared to use your art supplies because they feel too expensive or too special, you can watch that video next, because I made a video all about that. Because your art supplies are meant to be created with. And until then, happy sketching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!